So while I'm working with this gelding Picasso, what I'm doing right here, the first thing I'm doing is I want him to turn and face me when I look at his hind end. He didn't turn and face me, so I follow him behind his tail and I stay out of the kick zone until he thinks towards me right there. And when he does, I stop and pause, or I can walk away and have him follow me. And in this way, when I go to playing, circling him in the round pen, when I want him to stop, I can look at his hind end and he will turn and face and rest. So there I had turned away from him and walked away when he turned and faced me. So here I'm going to do it again. I'm looking at his hind end. He's turning, he's facing me, and that's what I want. So I make sure that it's happening on both sides, his left side and his right side. So here I'm doing it again. He turned and faced. That's good. I paused. And the pause is a reward. When I take the pressure off, the horse knows that whatever I just asked for, whatever he just did must have been right because the pressure went away. So now I'm asking him to go out on the circle. And what I want to do while he's out on the circle is I want him to maintain gait and maintain direction. So I'm asking him to trot. And every time that he breaks gait, like right there, I'm going to ask again. First, I point in the direction I want him to go. And if he doesn't go, then I use my stick to reinforce the fact that I asked him to go. And at first here, you can see that he's not maintaining gait for very long. So I just ask again. But I'm always asking before I use my stick there because I want lightness. So when I do point with my hand to tell him to go forward, I also breathe in and kind of bring up my energy to let him know that I want more out of him. And you can see right here, he's kind of looking outside the arena. He's not thinking towards me. He's not connected at all. And I will get more of that once I get him understanding his responsibilities of maintaining gait, maintaining direction. And, he'll start looking more towards me. Right there, he was able to maintain gait for a couple laps, so I wanted to reward him. So I don't want to send him out there indefinitely because then he's going to lose track of what's going on. He's just going to get bored or frustrated because, I'm asking him to trot forever. So if I find that he can only maintain the trot for, let's say, a half a lap, I'm going to look for improvement. Maybe I'm going to ask for a lap or maybe 2 laps. And then when he shows me that he can do more, then I'm going to give him a break. So I want to find moments to reward. And here he's looking outside the arena, so he's a lot disconnected. But that will get resolved in the future. But first I have to get him to understand about maintaining gait, maintaining direction. So I put myself in the very center of the arena and I'm just pausing here. Well, no. So he broke gait there. I just reminded him of what his job is. So then I'm staying quiet in the center when he does what he's supposed to do. So there I asked him to go again, asked him to trot. Now I'm just going to stand here and I'm going to expect him to just try to maintain gait and maintain direction. And by me standing still and just relaxing here, that shows him that I'm pleased with what he's doing. If he quits maintaining gait or tries to change direction, I'm going to do something about it. But until then, I'm going to leave him alone to do his job. I like the relaxation he's given there. He's lowering his head. There he thought about stopping again. So I reminded him that he needs to trot. And once in a while, I have to put just a little bit of extra pressure. If I don't see things improving at all and he only trots for a short period of time and he breaks gait and he keeps doing that over and over, then I'm going to add a little bit of extra pressure to motivate him to try a little harder. So there he's looking outside the arena again. He's not very connected. I'm looking for some changes. There he's looking in. He showed me some improvement there. He showed me that he was thinking towards me instead of away. So he maintained gait for a couple of laps, and he showed some connection there. So I rewarded him by looking at his hind end and telling him to turn and face. And now he gets a reward. He gets a break for showing some improvement and showing some connection. So these things are going to come together little by little, piece by piece. And I make sure that while I'm giving him a break there, that I'm relaxed. My shoulders are relaxed. My body's relaxed. You know, my body's turned away from him just a little bit so that he doesn't feel any pressure from me. And I just make sure that I'm relaxed so that he knows that I'm happy. Now I asked him to go to the left and he tried to go to the right. I'm sorry. No, that was the opposite. I wanted him to go to the left. And once again, I'm just staying relaxed in the middle. And now he's coming in. He came a little closer to me, but he tried to take over. He tried to go, well, I'm just going to come to you and I'm going to quit. So I asked him to go back out again. So I don't want him taking over. I do want him to try to connect, but I don't want him calling the shots and saying, well, I'm just going to come and look at you and I'm going to stop. So it's a balancing act. There he changed direction on his own, so I just cut him off. I went about, and here I'm going to do it again. I cut him off. I get in front of him and I block him from going the other direction. And then once he's doing what he's supposed to do again, I just leave him alone. So he has these areas where he comes off the rail and he gets a little closer. And I'm not going to pick on all that a whole lot because right now what's really important is that he maintains gait and maintains direction. Because this is new. This is new for him. He's only been with me a little less than a week. And if I'm too strict and I have too many things that I'm being particular with right away, it's going to be too hard for him and he's not going to be able to figure it out. I just have to break things down into pieces here. So here I put myself back in the center of the round pen again. I like that he's not looking out as much as he was before, but he likes to try to break gait behind me. So I just took my stick and string and I just kind of put a little pressure behind him without turning and facing him and making a big deal of it. I just go, I can still resolve things when you're behind me. And that's what a lot of horses do, is they want to stop when they're behind a person. So I just tell him, no, you need to keep going. There I put in a little extra pressure because he wasn't improving. So I just tapped the stick and string on the ground a couple times to say, hey, I need you to try a little harder. There he tried stopping behind me again, so I just swung the stick and string behind me. And now I'm saying, you need to maintain gait and direction here. And he wasn't showing a lot of improvement, so I put a little extra pressure in there to say, I need you to try just a little bit harder. And then I make sure, like right now, I'm really leaving him alone and my body's very relaxed. I check everything from my eyes being relaxed, my shoulder, my arms, my legs. I have a leg cocked. I'm very relaxed. I like that he's lowering his head. He's trying to relax a little bit more. He thought about slowing down there to a walk and he changed his mind because now he's starting to understand that if he breaks gait, something's going to happen. So he's starting to get the idea of maintaining gait. and I don't want to leave him out there too long. So I looked at his hind end right there, and I asked him to turn and face and come in. So I wanted to reward again because there was improvement there. Even though he had a hard time there for a little bit and he kept dropping to a walk, he got to the point where he held it for longer and he thought about it. And he did think about lowering to a walk, but he didn't do it. So I wanted to reward him for his effort of trying. I don't get mad at him. I don't get frustrated. I just give him opportunities to improve, and then I make sure that I reward. And I'm doing each direction several times so that he can get in a pattern of maintaining gait and maintaining direction. Whatever I do on one side of the body, I have to do on the other. So I do several to the left and I do several to the right so that he gets the idea of what is expected of him. And this one's a lot nicer. He's maintaining gait without me having to remind him. So I'm very happy about that. And he has moments where he thinks towards me and he has moments where he looks out. And, that's just part of the learning process. We're not even a week into this. So, I'm very happy with what he's doing right now and his progress. And I thought he did good there. I didn't have to remind him of his job. So he did a few laps and I looked at his hind end again, asked him to turn and face, and gave him a break. So I was very happy with that. And there he didn't really think about coming to me. So I just circled around him in a circular motion, heading towards his hind end until he turned and faced and got a little closer to me. Now I'm asking him to go to the right. And that was really nice. I didn't have to do much. There, he broke gait. I did something about it. And then I leave him alone. Because if I'm constantly staring at him and pushing him and walking with him and trying to get him to do that, how is he ever going to know what the right answer is? Because there's constant pressure on him. And I don't want to do that. I want to leave him alone when he's doing the right thing. There's some nice relaxation there, but he broke gait, so I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to say, you should be trotting. Now I'm going to leave him alone again. That's really nice right there, how he's arcing his body a little bit more towards me. Instead of looking out like he did at the beginning of the session. He's cutting in here, but I'm not going to, right there, I walk towards his shoulder a little bit to ask him to go out just a little bit. And then I stop and relax and reward him. And sometimes what I'm doing here is I'm checking it out. I'm like, is he thinking about connecting to me? Well, there, I had to correct him because he tried to change direction because he's supposed to maintain gait and maintain direction. But sometimes I'm just watching and seeing what he's thinking about doing there. He changed direction again, so I did something about it. But I want to see if he's trying to join up more with me and circling closer to me all the way around the circle, or if he's only going to do it in certain areas. So I'm kind of exploring it myself and seeing where's his mind at, what he's thinking, what is he thinking. And so sometimes I'll send him back to the rail, and sometimes I'll just let him explore a little bit and see where his head is at. There, he showed improvement. He did a couple laps without changing direction, and maintained gait. So once again, another reward. After he really gets a strong idea of this and really gets it, I can ask him to do more laps. But I don't want to do that right now because I just want to teach him that what I'm asking for is to maintain gait and maintain direction. Once he's got that, I can ask for more. But then I'm not going to drive him crazy by just circling him in mindless circles forever. You know, it would get to the point to where we're going to do transitions, changes of speed, changes of direction. I would make it a lot more interesting. But right now, I can't do all that because I'm just teaching him the basics of maintain gait and maintain direction. Once he learns that, I've got to make it more interesting or I'm going to drive him crazy. Thanks for watching.